Hello guys, Unabridged here, and today we're going to be continuing Kill Me Softly by Sarah Cross. Chapter 3. Pale dawn light bled through around the curtains, enough for Mira to see that the bolt on the door had been breached, and the door had been flung open and slammed hard against the wall. A slender, dark figure moved swiftly through the room and pounced on the bed. Why did I say window? And pounced on the bed. Mira started to scream. She reached for the phone beside her bed as the intruder's body fell onto hers. A hot hand clamped on her mouth. "What are you still doing here?" he hissed. "Are you crazy?" Disorientated but filled with adrenaline, she bucked like a wave. She was stronger than she looked. She'd been dancing ballroom for years, and managed to roll him off of her, his body thumping hard against the floor. Her instinct said, "Fight, protect yourself." She leaped from the bed and landed on him, her knees striking his chest. Then she reached for the phone, and she would have smashed it into his head, but if he hadn't jolted his hips and knocked her sideways. He grabbed her wrist and pinned her flat on her back, leaned over her. And in the dim hints of the dawn, she recognized him. The spiky hair, the wiry frame, that was working hard to keep her trapped, and her fear quickly turned to anger. "You really are crazy," Blue muttered. "You need to get the hell out of here, now." "Get off me," she said, struggling to bring her leg up so she could knee him somewhere sensitive. "I'm trying to keep you from getting killed." "Yeah, right." The busted door had long since swung open to a close, clicking almost shut. Now it opened again, and Freddy's worried head peeked in. "Is everything—" When he spotted them on the floor, he hurried inside, looking mortified. "Blue, what are you doing?" "You know what I'm doing. Get your stupid friend off me," Mira said. "You're the stupid one," Blue told her, "because you're still here. Pretty sure I told you to leave." "I hate you," Mira thought, glaring up at him. Blue's chainsaw pendant hung down as he hovered over her, the silver blade dangling in front of her face, taunting her. She wanted to knock it out of the way, but he held her hands. The floor that had felt so plush last night was hard under her shoulders, and in her skimpy makeshift pajamas, fine for living in a house full of women, was not for being assaulted by strange boys. She felt almost naked. Freddie dropped down beside them, distressed. "Let go of her, Blue. That really looks bad." "Feel free to stop him," Mira said, instead of frowning at me like a sad puppy. "Hey!" Freddie said, looking like a sadder puppy. "I'm not going to molest you," Blue said. "You're molesting my wrists," Mir said. "I don't want you touching me. I don't want you to knee me in the lungs, so I guess we're even." "We're far from even," she said through gritted teeth. "Back to business," Blue said. "You need to get out of this hotel and not come back. And if I have to carry you out, cart you to the Palace Casino or a Motel 6, I will. If I have to hurt you, I will. I'm not nice, so don't test me unless you want proof of that." Mira answered him with words Bliss and Elsa never let her say. Blue smiled. She told him he was a talented assailant. Freddie looked stricken. "Ladies shouldn't talk like that." "Oh, shut up," she snapped. "Be nice to Freddie," Blue said. "He has a crush on you." "Maybe I'm not nice either," she said. "Fine," Blue said. "Be nice, be mean to Freddie, but don't blame me if a lovesick sparrow pecks your eyes out. You've been warned." Blue released her and got to his feet, watching her carefully, like he expected her to lash out. "Get your stuff, then we're getting out of here." "Those sparrows wouldn't hurt anyone," Freddie said. "A blue jay might, or a hummingbird, but never a—" Blue cut him off as he could yell at her. "Hurry up. You've got 2 minutes before I pack your stuff for you." "You're crazy," Mira said, pulling on her hoodie and zipping it up since she wasn't wearing a bra, and she'd had enough of these guys staring at her. "First, you offer to comp my room. Then you try to drag me off to some sleazy hotel. And when your brother is actually nice to me, you freak out and assault me. What part of that makes sense?" Blue shook his head. "If I had to put you up somewhere, you wouldn't have met my brother. I don't want him around you. End of story." "I can't believe you're jealous of your own brother," she muttered. "Jealous?" Blue narrowed his eyes, looking angrily. I'm gonna read that one more time. "Jealous?" Blue narrowed his eyes, looking angry finally. It gave him his face a different cast from the cocky obnoxiousness he usually wore. You have no idea what you're getting yourself into. Now do what I say before I do something I'll regret. Mira shoved her feet in her flip-flops, huffing like a bull. She was so furious. I doubt you regret anything. You'd need a conscience for that. Yeah, let it go. Let's go. Blue put his hand out and shoved her lightly between the shoulder blades. You don't belong here. You have no freaking clue. Blue and Freddie escorted Mira through the Dreams lobby and out the front door, where a valet stood waiting to usher guests in and out of cabs. He saw Blue and motioned for the hotel car, a black Lexus SUV, and saw them all in a safely. Mira wondered if it would make a difference to the valet if she announced she was a hostage. She guessed no. Where to? The driver asked. Take us to the Denevue estate, Blue said. Viv isn't going to want to see us this early, Freddie said. I don't care what Viv wants. Do you ever care what anyone wants? Mira asked sharply. No, Blue said. Blue lowered the windows and slouched on the wide leather seat, his eyes closing, his body going limp like water, like he was determined to grab a few minutes of sleep. Mira had the urge to hit him when he was vulnerable, to get back at him for holding her down, but it seemed absurd to start fighting in front of the hotel driver. The whole morning was absurd. She'd never felt so angry or aggressive in her entire life. She didn't normally want to reason with she she didn't normally want to hit people or even yell at them because normally you could reason with people, and if you couldn't, you could avoid them. But Blue was impossible. He was so rude and belligerent and relentless about it. Mira settled back and did her best to calm down. Maybe Felix would punch Blue for her later. They rode in near silence, Freddie periodically asking the driver whether he wanted to hear their band CD, the driver always answering with a firm no. Tall buildings and silvery sheets of ocean gave way to roads thick with magnolia and oak trees as they left the city behind. A weedy green smell infused the car so strong Mira could taste it. By the time they reached the Denevue estate, a white mansion located on the edge of a wooded golf course, Mira had gone from furious to annoyed and was headed towards hopeful. Viv sounded like a girl's name. Viv probably wouldn't jump on her or order her around. She might even take her side and yell at Blue and Freddie, especially since they were both bothering her so early in the morning. As they climbed out of the car and headed towards the house, Mira saw the well-built, dark-haired teenage guy was pushing a lawnmower. Saw that Sorry. Mira saw that a well-built, dark-haired teenage guy was pushing a lawnmower across the sloping yard, easing it around the oak trees and punctuating the front lawn. Sweat slicked his chest and bits of cut grass flecked his light brown skin. He wore a pair of maroon basketball shorts with a t-shirt tucked into the waistband. He shut off the lawnmower when he saw them and scowled. Mira hoped that wasn't Viv, but on the bright side, someone else was unhappy to see Blue and Freddie. The world was already making more sense. Blue hiked up the hill as if the guy's pissed off expression had energized him. Mira hurried to keep up. Would you like me to carry your bag? Freddie asked. He looked a little guilty, but hopeful too. No. She twisted the strap around her wrist so he couldn't take it away from her. Don't do me any favors. But I like to do you favors. She glared at him. No. As they drew closer to the house, a woman rose into view on the veranda. She wore a sheer pink robe trimmed with marabou feathers and held a martini glass full of what looked like orange juice. Her large, very perky, probably very expensive breasts rose from the neckline of her negligee. They didn't so much as wiggle when she waved hello. Is that Viv? Mira asked. Blue burst out laughing. You're lucky she didn't hear you say that. That's Regina, Viv's wicked stepmother, Freddie said. Her stepmother, he corrected. Normal stepmother is what I mean. Okay, Mira said. And that's Henley, Blue said as they rounded the hill. I said that weird. And that's Henley, Blue said, as they rounded the hill, gesturing at to the lawn mowing guy. He works here as a gardener, among other things. When they reached Henley, he was wiping the sweat from his face with his t-shirt. He was their age, 17 or so, but his forehead was already creased like he'd spent years being a guard, waiting for something bad to happen. Why'd you have to bring Night here? Henley asked. His voice was deep and gritty, like the boys at school who flunked everything but auto shop and were perpetually pissed off. Relax, Silva, Blue said, but don't be paranoid. Henley thinks I want to date Viv, Freddie whispered to Mira, a bit too loudly to be subtle, but I don't. I haven't made a single overture. Who's that? Who, who's this? Henley asked, eyeing Mira now. No one important, Blue said. Just a random seducible girl I'm protecting. I'm Mira, she said, sticking her hand out. Henley's hot, sweaty hand engulfed hers. His eyes were narrowed, and he still looked angry, but it didn't seem directed at her. Nice to meet you, I guess. Too bad it's in the company of this asshole. Viv's alive, right? Blue said. You didn't cut her heart out. What is wrong with you? Mira snapped. That's disgusting. Henley's eyes were hard, his gaze heavy. You're lucky I don't have an axe, Valentine. Aren't we all? Blue said. So, Viv. What do you want with her? Henley was the gardener, but he behaved like a gatekeeper. Mira wondered what that was about. Maybe he was Viv's boyfriend, or wished he was. Blue shrugged, and I need to get Mira Brat out of the hotel. Felix latched onto her, and she thinks he's dreamy. Oh, shut up, Mira said. You don't know anything about me. Anyway, Blue went on, she doesn't have a place to stay, and I felt like bothering Viv. It seemed like a good idea when I first thought of it. Blue glanced towards Viv's stepmother, who was leaning over the veranda, dipping her fingers in her martini glass and peering at the group. Is Regina watching to make sure the lawn gets done, or is she standing by in case you need her to lick the sweat off your chest? Henley bristled. She just likes having breakfast outside. That's what I figured, Freddie said amicably. She seems like a nice woman aside from the wickedness. Shut up, Knight, Henley growled. Eventually, the four of them went around back where Viv's balcony was. The balcony overlooked the small garden made up of stone wall, flanked by fruit trees. Birds dotted the branches like ornaments on a Christmas tree until they saw Freddie, at which point they rushed to surround him, flapping above his head like a floating crown. Chipmunks emerged from the underbrush to squeak at his feet. Freddie held out his hand, and a sparrow perched on his finger. He laughed a pure laugh and called, Mira, look! Then he beckoned her closer, saying, Don't worry, this one won't pick your eyes out. But Mira kept her distance, too stunned to move. The woodland creatures ignored Henley and Blue, but they couldn't get enough of Freddie. It wasn't a scary sight, but it was wrong. It was against nature. Mira squeezed her eyes shut, hoping the adoring swarm of animals would disappear. But when she opened her eyes, the animals were still there. Freddie was still laughing the sweet, ticklish laugh, and Henley was scowling at him like Freddie was a being of pure evil. Different mark, different destiny, Blue was saying to Henley, his voice low and calm. His eyes cut quickly towards Mira, then away. Oh yeah, Henley snorted, like she didn't notice. The French doors that led to Viv's bedroom were wide open, a breeze sucking the filmy white curtains in and out. Henley cupped his hands around his mouth and barked, Viv, wake up! A minute later, a girl stepped onto the balcony, the sunlight revealing her slowly, like it was reluctant to touch her. Her skin was a chalk white, her lips were red pink like pomegranate seeds, and her hair was black as a stroke of Chinese calligraphy. She wore a nightgown that lay almost flat against her petite, boyish figure, and a red satin sleep mask was pushed up on her forehead. Hey there, Vivian, Blue said. Viv leaned her elbows on the balustrade, and three doves fluttered down from the roof to join her. God, first the lawnmower and now this. I need my beauty sleep, you know. You'll have plenty of that soon enough, Blue said. Might as well stay conscious while you can. He grinned crookedly up at her, and Viv rubbed a hand across her face, looking miserable. If I could control these birds, they'd be shitting all over you, she said. Too bad you own their hearts, not their minds, Blue said. Can we come up? I guess, Viv said. You're not going to leave until I say yes. Henley led them through the back door into the kitchen, grass clippings dropping onto the floor as he tugged his dirty t-shirt on. He looked uncomfortable in the elegant house, like he didn't belong there, and he knew it. When they reached Viv's bedroom, Viv was dressed and sitting on the edge of an enormous red and black bed, her body standing out starkly against the blood-red sheets. Viv took a drink from a half-empty Coke bottle and grimaced. It's flat, she complained, and warm. Because you're too damn lazy to go downstairs and get a new one, Henley said. Because I don't want to see that bitch, Viv snapped back. Blue flopped down on the bed and grabbed a pillow to get comfortable. Hey, at least it's a breakfast she can't choke on. Shut up, Viv and Henley said at once. Mira wondered what that was supposed to mean. Maybe had choked on something once, and now they made fun of her about it. Sighing, Mira sat down in Viv's desk chair and next to a Mac laptop. It was too hard to keep up with these people and their inside jokes, and she didn't want know what they were talking about half the time. The laptop's Apple logo was covered by an X of black electrical tape. Mira's eyes narrowed her. The Mira narrowed her eyes at it. Weird. So, what's up? Viv asked, causing Mira to swivel around in her chair. Viv was staring at her dark eyes shining. Is she ours? Blue shook his head. Out of towner, just doing guard duty. Viv nodded like that made sense to her. Cute, but you need to find a new hobby. A dove fluttered in from the balcony and landed on Viv's shoulder, cooing sweetly. A chain of blue butterflies followed, then drifted toward Freddie. Freddie laughed again, and Henley grunted and hurled Viv's Coke bottle through the open French doors. The bottle failed to clear the railing, and brown liquid spilled all over the black balcony. You're cleaning that up, Viv told him. Anything else you want me to do? Henley snapped. Viv rolled her eyes. Take anger management classes. Stop being an idiot. I wrote for all of the above, Blue said, hugging Viv's pillow and rolling over so his back was to them. You guys make it impossible to sleep. Says the guy who woke me up at 7 in the morning. Viv grabbed her pillow and wrenched it from Blue's grasp, then hit him with it until he finally sat up. They were all quiet for a moment. A mouse that Daisy clutched between its teeth took advantage of the stillness to scurry across the floor. It dropped the daisy at Viv's feet, then darted beneath the dresser before anyone could step on it. Mira wanted to ask, why is this place crawling with animals, cute little animals that act like they're in love with Viv? But the fact that no one else was asking it made her hesitate. You should come out with us, Viv said to Mira, bending down to dig a pair of sandals out from under the bed, and unearthing a tiny white rabbit in the process. I really just want to, Mira started to explain why she was in Beau Rivage, but Viv interrupted her before she could finish. Don't worry, Viv said with a smile. We won't let anyone hurt you. She turned to the others. You guys feeling like going to Gingerbread? Fine with me, Blue said. Felix won't set foot in that place. That's because you guys own like 5 fancy restaurants. I wouldn't go either if I had my own sushi bar downstairs. Viv slipped on her sandals, winding their red ribbon laces around her ankles. Just give me a minute. Straightening, Viv went over and stood in front of the black framed mirror. The mirror caught her reflection from head to waist. And Viv looked nervous as she stared into it, twisting her hair into a messy spiral. She blinked into the glass as if waiting for approval. You look beautiful, the mirror said. Exquisite. The mirror spoke. Mira squinted to see if there was a speaker box attached. Like maybe you could buy a mirror that came with preset phrases, like press a button and it would say, "You look gorgeous." But Viv seemed upset, not flattered. She swore and yanked the pins from her hair, black waves spilling on her shoulders, and then flipped her head upside down and mussed her hair up with her hands. Worse? She asked, with a pinched look on her face. Still beautiful, the mirror replied. More beautiful than she is. Mira made a choking sound, and Blue kicked his way off the bed, knocking another pillow down with his boot, and hit the floor. Could you stop playing with your mirror? Blue asked. You're freaking out our guest. I was just checking, Viv said defensively. Why bother? You know what the answer will be. I know, but Never mind. Freddie got to his feet, sending the butterflies into a frenzy. We'll go to Gingerbread House, Viv. Pancakes will make you feel better, and maybe you'll gain some weight and Regina will be happier for a while. He tried on a shining smile, but it didn't seem to improve Viv's mood. Regina's never happy, Viv sighed and left the room, her platform sandals clunking down the stairs. Mira noticed that Henley watched the space where she'd gone, once she was gone, with the same admiring gaze the mirror had fixed on her. The naked longing on his face made Mira shiver. She felt like she stumbled into a world of strangers' secrets, into a wonderland instead of the city where she had been born, and their secrets were like dynamite waiting to explode. She wasn't sure much she wanted to know. Thank you for listening to Kill Me Softly, Chapter 3. Please check out all the links down below, including our Patreon. Please hit the subscribe button and the like button and ring the bell. Thank you, and now let me out. Peace.